Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to Mashinky, the Metropolis Project. Just the all-important passenger train just rolls past us. Alright, I don't really have a show or tell for this one because of how things ended last time. As you know, it ended with a project under construction. And so, as a result, as this has happened several times in the series already, rather than just, just sit there and go and do random things, or just leave it there, I will actually pick up and continue with that project as I look around at the scenery a bit more. I'm sorry, it's one of the things I really do like about this game. They've done such a good job on the scenery. But anyway, let's actually get something rolling, shall we? Because at the end of last time, I mentioned I was just putting signals in, and that's as far as I've taken it. So, we need GS2, yes. We need one coach class, and then the rest second class, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have the train configuration. Most important part of it, yes. Now, as usual, I'll be throwing 3 trains onto this, I think, because that's kind of what I've been doing, so let's be honest. You'll go up to this station here, and then you will come back down, and then we'll go into that section, which should be relatively simple to get sorted out, quite honestly. So let's go ahead and start you up. Okay, and then we need to just go ahead and build in the rest of the trains. I really wish there was a clone train feature. It's a shame, really, because in some ways Transport Tycoon is... Well, Transport Tycoon was out for a lot longer, so it's actually had a lot more little features that appeared in over time that have not really had a chance to turn up over here. And yet it's also going to be the benchmark for a game such as this as well. Well, there's no way around it. I mean, Transport Tycoon, awesome game, open TTD, still manages to suck me in, like, it's like, I want to play with trains, and boats, and vehicles and things. Just remember that in Transport Tycoon, the planes are not very well balanced at all. No, they are not. They are the source to infinite wealth and happiness, and never-ending life, and all other things that a person might desire. As far as Transport Tycoon is concerned, go with the planes every time, and you will have many, many, many good things. Okay, start you up. Go to the 3rd train, so that is all 3 trains set. Okay. That just leaves our remaining work on these 2 stations over here. I mean, this one's not even got a loop in it yet. Oh, wait, that one... No, wait, sorry, that's not... Why did I think this was a town? This is the oil wells. The town is over here. And it doesn't even have a station yet. Oopsie. It does have a shop, though. Okay, let's get into building mode and let's start fixing all this. We can't let you be here without the benefit of Iron Mark III's land development plans. No, people of no, got to do this robotic. Never fear, people of Saint Asphans. You will be greatly enlightened and enriched by the presence of Iron Mark III's latest revolutionary enforced railway transportation system. I may or may not have been playing on Fallout recently. Oh, it's just how they did the robots and that. I really, really, really do have to get around to doing. Well, I almost said want to do, but it's like get around to. That's always been my problem with this channel for such a long time. It's like, I want to do other games, but I'm a lazy bastard, pardon the language, and there's also only so many videos I can put out in a given time anyway, even if I want to, so it's stirring up the effort to actually get on with it. I'm very lonely. I require motivation. Motivate me, please! Motivate me! Actually, that's perfect for getting across this section, actually, that. Interesting. But yeah, it is like, motivation is always so hit and miss with me, so that's why I like it the way it is at the moment, in some ways, which is like, I have some series which are actually really easy and relaxing and chill for me to make, and I am absolutely fine with that. I need to mix you. And then I've got some which are more complex and require more effort on my part. It's like, I have to do things? No, why should I have to do things? Come on. But they are also some of the more popular slash different slash sought after ones as well. I think From the Depths is actually the best example, really, because that one requires a heck of an output from me in terms of effort and energy, and yet it's also the one that actually gave my channel some semblance of popularity for a while as well. And then I just couldn't keep up with it, and it's like, you know, it's... why am I even going into this? It's like, this is all ancient history now, but no, From the Depths... I'm still somehow known as a From the Depths channel. Even though I'm definitely, in terms of overall class and output and stuff, I'm definitely like a variety gaming channel. I'm not a From the Depths channel. No, I'm not. I am actually a variety gaming type, because there's so many different games that go into this channel, but it's still widely known slash said slash accepted, even by me, that this is a From the Depths channel. And some people don't even like it when it's like a comment on Left 4 Dead when I ran that as a mini-series recently. It's like I know there's little comments. I'm not poking it out. I'm not trying to pick at anyone, but there's always something that sticks sometimes when someone says something or you read something or stuff like that. There's always something that will stick with you. And what stuck with me from Left 4 Dead is, one, people weren't really saying anything about it. Well, yeah, well, to be fair, it's an oldish game. But one of the few that did was, oh look, another brainless shooter on the channel. Might have been sarcastic actually, because I think I mentioned that in one of the videos as well. I just don't recall offhand if it's the same one if it was the same video that I said it out, because I said, yeah, look, it's another brainless shooter kind of thing, la-di-da-di-da. And then I also went on to, but it's actually not as bad as COD in general, because in general Call of Duty is actually a really, really brainless one. Sure, it has all the graphics and production values and things, but well, you can see how awful the story is, and the mechanics are pretty standard for the most part as well, so it's like, it's the cookie cutter version. If you're gonna hate on FPS, hate on COD. End of the day. That's why COD is both loved and hated. And yet people still buy it every time. Because it's more of the same and they know what's coming out. Right, let's see, it is Coach. Second. Check, that's the right length. Okay. So we can actually get this new train out as well, because we've now got a connection, complete with signals, to that additional town up here. So St. Assens, you are being connected to our testing site, all the way down here. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying though, it's like, Mashinky is actually one of the easy, if you, well, quote unquote easy, the easy videos, because I can just like settle in and do this, and then it's like, wait a second, I've been playing this for the best part of an hour. Where did the time go? I just get, it's one of those games that can absorb me so very, very thoroughly. It's you, isn't it? Yeah, it's you. But it's a very chill, very laid back game, and that's why I love it. That's why I keep coming back to Mashinky. It's taken the spot that From the Depths. Why the heck did I say From the Depths? But Transport Tycoon Deluxe. That's not From the Depths at all. I don't know. What the heck? Random waffling, ladies and gents. Yes, I always know what I'm saying. Every single time. I'm never wrong ever. Except for the many times I am. Yeah, like Mashinky actually turned up at a good time when I was like starting to really keenly miss playing Open Transport Tycoon for a while. because I kind of went off in, I was getting distracted by many other things. It's like, oh hey, there's this new transport game out called Mashinky. The demo looks really promising. Let's give it a try. And I've kind of not looked back since, actually, now that I think about it. Mashinky, how dare you claim my soul this way? How dare you, I say? And yet it has, so... And I also am not expecting an answer, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. Yep, that's fine there, prove that. So yeah. Once upon a time, there was actually like a random waffling effect to some of my video content. Like there was the entire Just Babbling series is basically me just randomly picking something up and venting a little, and if I just it's still that way actually. It's just I've not had a specific topic that I've not really been certain of my thoughts and what I'm trying to work out on for quite a while now, actually. So that's why there's not been a Just Babbling in easily the best part of a year at this point. But Mashinky has also kind of filled in that venting, that outlet kind of approach, because Just Babbling would be a random game and then I'd be talking about whatever. And here we are in Mashinky, while I'm just playing and talking about whatever. I'm sensing a theme here. Are you sensing a theme? Because I certainly am. And I've just made the connection because it's like, this may seem a bit complex to some people what I do with this, but at the same time it's really simple and straightforward. It's actually not that hard. It's like, the trains are coming this way, I want it to be over here, so I've got to get a way across. I already worked out previously, that's like, raise that, bridge across there, over it goes, and then it just links straight back in, so it's just a really simple junction. In fact, it's not, this doesn't even really class as a junction, it's more like a branch. They just come off the side of the track and off they go. Things like this are a bit more complex, but again, it's like really straightforward. It's actually the exact same kind of layout design that went into the old City Skylines streams, of all things. Yeah, no, City Skylines, you remember, I was playing that one and it stopped after a while when my streams became less certain. But there was another reason why City Skylines stopped, and that was flat out because my new computer, well, it's not new at this point, I've got to admit to that. My replacement computer, which let me actually start to do streams of City Skylines, was actually starting to struggle again. So City Skylines, it was becoming uncertain how much more my computer could actually take. Because we had a mid-sized city, and I had what was basically still a really weak machine trying to run it, on top of running the recording software, which is also a strain as well. So something had to give in that case, especially in the city which had its core sector called Ion's Folly, because that, ironically enough, describes the game perfectly and the situation it was in. Because I knew I had a weak machine when I started playing it, and even then I still did it. My computer is just not very good. It never has been. Never will be. Because flat out, I just can't afford a decent one. And the way my... well, heck, the way my finances go, it's always one heck of a stretch even to get this an outdated piece of junk like the one I'm playing on. And yet, here we are. Okay, that's all 3 trains set. That is 3 new stations, sorry, 2 new stations put in, but 3 stations now fully populated with 3 trains each, so that's 9 more trains running on this track. And there we go. This one's been here for quite a while because this was one of the first ones put in, actually. So that's why it's got 1,500 people waiting. But as the towns grow, the trains will take naturally a bit longer to cycle through, and they'll get in each other's way as well when the flows of trains merge together, like at these points here, because one will get delayed while another goes past. So they'll balance themselves out eventually. So that's why I didn't really mind putting 3 of these on. Unlike games like Transport Fever and Train Fever. I actually got Transport Fever. I was thinking of doing a series in that, but my channel is not structured the same way as Nerd Cube's channel is. He's got things much better organised than I do. Then again, he is also a professional YouTuber, so yeah, that's to be expected. Yeah, off they go. But yeah, watching his stuff got me in thinking about getting Transport Fever, and I got it, but I've not really done it much with it. And honestly, Transport Fever's approach to lines was very interesting. It was definitely a different take on transport games before it. It's not like Mashinky though. But it was all about the time between visits of the trucks or trains or anything else you sent. So what happened was how often the service came, and that also determined how much the businesses would use your tracks and things as well. So if you couldn't just spam a load of stuff and then expect it to sit there and get a full load and then drive off and come back again. Because the industries would stop producing, the towns would stop sending passengers to you. And all little tidbits like that. I wondered why this town was big, and there's, oh yeah, we've got the old legacy line over here. Hello, Grandpa. How are you? Still hopping and popping around, I see. Excellent. Sadly, I think I'm going to be connecting to Northampton and Oxford next. I was had to look because it's like these are near Northampton, but Northampton is down here. It's like, wait, what? What's the other town? Oh yeah, it's Oxford. But they're just really spreading out around this area, aren't they? Oh, but yeah, I think I've settled in and just watching the trains again. Oh, my throat hurts. Okay, let's see. How is Blackburn doing? Blackburn is getting many, many people. Of course, we've got this already saturated central station here. The new station which I laid in is operating quite nicely so far. I'm going to have to do something about the layout of the roads though to encourage Blackburn to... Oh wow, the people of Blackburn really do love their beachside properties, don't they? Of all the options and all the choices of where to put things, they've put it all along this cliff near the water. That is... I find that quite surprising, actually. Until this moment, I had assumed that the town would basically just like... It's like, here's the middle of town, let's try to develop around here. If we're putting down a house, then see where our roads have gone and preferably put it somewhere near town. It's like, the further away from town, the less likely it is to have a thing put on it. But no, Blackburn has actually completely ignored this entire set of space here and just randomly put down a whole bunch of things over here. And I do not know why. Mind you, they've done the same thing here as well in this little spot. Like they've built some stuff up around here, but they didn't exactly have much choice with that one. Actually, yeah, no wait, if I recall, I actually built this section out here at the same time as I built this section here, but this section here is actually mostly empty. There seems to be some kind of advanced calculation going on here, I think. It can't just be like closest to that corner of the map over that way, because then it would all be over, you know, these bits would be filled in as well as these bits. So that would have filled in before these were. And it wouldn't have basically grown this section out here by itself, because I didn't do much to encourage this part, but it did anyway. I don't know. I'm now really wondering what the algorithm is that's dictating how these towns grow. It's very weird. Well, let's see, how many people do you need to grow? 2,500. Actually, hang on, that doesn't look too good. Can I make you bigger? No. We've got something weird going on here, folks. I'm watching the numbers of the maximum saying, you've got to get this many to grow, and it's like, it's actually flickering slightly. Which is kind of weird, but there's some kind of flicker going on here. It's dropping between 2,580 and... what's it saying? Really focusing on it, trying to get it. And it... oh, nope, there it goes again. 2630 or something, I think, that one. It seems to be mostly hitting 2590. So this is not static. I thought this was static based on current population or something, but there seems to be some kind of background calculation going on here as well. Because it keeps recalculating itself. It's flickering quite regularly. So's the male. It goes 774 and then it's changing to like 777 in terms of amount required. And even the goods is flickering as well. So I think the high population is actually causing some kind of glitch going on in the background. Nothing overtly bad, but I do wonder if that hints at some kind of instability in the future. Huh. I do like that. I just sat there staring at a number for a few minutes and it's like, what is this thing, this curiosity that is lying there before me? What is that? I must think about this and consider it carefully. Maybe it's something important. And it's like, oh wait, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Well, not yet anyway. Oh, that is so weird actually. But now I'm just looking around here. We've got coal, we've got wood. This area does not really have much by way of industry though. Oh, speak of the devil, actually we've got coal. We do need to do things I mentioned before, which is boost my general output in terms of wood and metal. Do we have a processing plant around here somewhere? I don't think we do. I mean, that's a factory, but that's not what I'm after. I'm after a tool shop, I think it is. Oh, here's one. A tool works. Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of stuff, because I've been mentioning this the last few videos, actually. And that is the fact that the activity around Holyhead, while interesting to look at, definitely convoluted and complex, is also not fit for purpose given how the southwest industrial section, which is focused on entirely on coal at this point, has just so massively and completely outperformed it in terms of coal reserve. So, you know, that's still at the back of my mind. It's like, I know I've got to do something about all this. Except for processing into goods. I don't care about goods, really. But if I don't process the stuff, and if I don't process the refined petroleum into, you know, into goods, then I can't actually use it to produce extra amounts of processed oil to run my trains on. I think that's diesel tokens, but I'm not sure. But I would have to actually get the goods going somewhere to actually get... yeah, here it is. Because I need to send it to here. Which converts it into these. And then it's... sorry, yeah, the crude oil goes into petroleum. Petroleum, I think, is that what... Yeah, that's... Because it has to go into here anyway to get the tokens. But then if this fills up on goods, then it's not going to do anything, basically. So... as the ages in this game progress, the overall industrial the industrial trains are getting more complex as well, yes, but the chains are changing quite drastically. That doesn't need anything separate. Why is there so many toolworks up in this corner of the map? Though something I am really missing is the ability to just go ahead and found your own stuff. Like I can still put down that headquarters. And I can put down a shop, though as we found last time those were also a bit glitched. They don't work the way they're supposed to. At least I don't think they do. Has that been updated? No, goods are still only going to that first shop. So no, that's not been changed. I'm sorry, I'm spending like the second half of this episode, rather than building anything, I'm just watching it go, aren't I? I'm watching it all go. I really should be doing something. I guess. I don't really know. Okay, well, let's see. To get max output out to these mines, if I recall, I require timbers. I do require timber for the supports. The problem with that being that if I do that with the supports, then I've got excess capacity going on elsewhere as well. There's also the fact that it's really, really small numbers as well. That doesn't help. Okay, right. Let's actually start doing a thing, shall we? This is the primary passenger/goods line. That's why the goods engines have got the dedicated engine. So this will have to be a separate line to feed into this steel mill, which will then have to run all the way over here to this toolworks. So let's actually start updating the numbers, I suppose. And that'll be our project for next episode. Getting this section, the northeastern industrial section, rolling. I think I'll be avoiding going maximum output on it, because quite frankly that'll be I'd have to link excess resources elsewhere, and I've got all these pop-ups anyway, which are highly irritating. I still don't know how to stop them. I still don't think you can stop them. But anyway, let's see. Right. In terms of foundry, let's see. I think the coal mine will be our choke point with a single coal mine. Because this is the limit of how much stuff can be processed into steel. So, total support, maintenance shed over there. Okay, that's maxed out at 0.5 timber to 6 coal in terms of total overall ratio. So 0.5 to 6. We need another coal mine. Wasn't there one down here as well? Oops. Bit of a lag spike there. Yeah, there's another coal mine down here, which we can get the same ratio out of. So that's 1 timber to 12 coal. Oh dear, that might be bad actually. 12 coal. We don't need that much, do we? And this is where the inaccuracies come in, and what causes all these flipping props to turn up. Blast furnace there, and that down there. That becomes a 10 coal intake. So you can see there, yeah, 10 coal to 0.45 steel, 0.45. I don't care about the steel output just yet, but 10 coal. Well, I have a total of 12 if I tap into 2 mines. However, we have another figure here, which is 7 inbound iron ore. So if I extend this mine here, it's already got an output of 4. Do we want to add timber to it? Well, actually, if we can avoid doing the timber, that will avoid extra pop-ups over here. 1.5, 2.5, unfortunately we need to do the timber. 0.4 to 4, look at that, 0.4 to 4, that is an extremely bad figure. 0.4, it's almost like this thing is all a little bit wonky. Well, it makes me think it's a bit wonky, but my problem is still how it just pops up all these excess capacity things and we can't do anything about it. Like somehow, how does Manchester have excess goods? It's getting half of the goods output. There is no option to ignore this, is there? No, there is not. You know what, let's go routing the options menu for just a few seconds. Options. Here we go, save. Right. Game. Autosave. Control scheme. Mouse sensitivity. No. Details. Let's actually get... Let's reduce the view distance, actually. That would be a really good idea. Because that's one of the times this game lags, when I get in too close and starts to view things really far away. It just draws too much. Other than that, nothing here that will help us, and nothing in sound either, so yeah, there's no way to stop it from doing that. If only I could mute this section of the news. Like it says, news, and others just saying like, warehouse capacity reached, warehouse capacity reached, warehouse capacity reached, you moron, warehouse capacity reached. It's like, come on. I know that these things are going at capacity, but I just can't tell it to shut up about it because it's going as intended. And the fact that that thing requires a 0.4 timber to deal with that. I mean, look at this. The minimum output of a sawmill is 2. I need to tap into 4 mines just to get this stuff straight. I need another iron ore mine, which I need to set down to 3, but that will require 0.4 timber as well, and that will just so confusing. So confusing. These numbers just won't balance, and it'll add another couple of pop-ups onto the side here, and it'll just keep on blinking at me. That, to my mind, remains the absolute worst thing about Mashinky. That it can't handle that and storage capacity. Oh yeah, that's better. I've lost some FPS, but reducing the draw distance means I can zoom in like this while looking towards the center of activity over there, and I'm still going at 15 FPS. Whereas before it dropped me to like 8. So yeah, reducing that distance has definitely helped. Now sadly, with my waffling and getting a bit confused and despairing at the numbers that I'm trying to balance on these guys, we've actually hit our episode time. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm just getting completely distracted again. How strange. But yeah, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. And I'll catch you all some other time for some more Mashinky Metropolis projects. Yes. See you all later.